wouldn't trade away his best player. Baltimore, 34-20. Chiefs, Chargers, Patrick Mahomes. Need I say more? 34-14. Everything's up to date in Kansas City. Finally, prime time, Sunday night. Pats, Hawks, Cam, Russell. One of these quarterbacks has an MVP. The other is getting his this year. Give me Seattle, 31-16. Read him and weep, McAfee. What do you think?
I love what you're doing there. I mean, the Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites. You got them covering with ease there. And then the Jets losing by 174 points, I believe. That is a perfect prediction. I like what you're doing, Greeny. I like the way you're just slaughtering teams for making bad decisions, too, with the Texans trading away their best player. I like your head's at, Greeny. I like your big old brain you got on you while you sit over that river over there and judge people.
Thank you very much. And again, the picks always have one phrase, and they are hashtag KOD. Meanwhile, let's talk about this team. The Steelers won their season opener Monday night against the Giants, looked good on both sides of the ball. Ben Roethlisberger threw 3 touchdowns. The Pittsburgh defense held Saquon Barkley to 6 yards rushing on 15 carries. And so we will bring back something called Change My Mind. And I will tell you, I've been saying this since the beginning of August. I picked the Steelers to win that division, and I will say this right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers, in my mind, have made it a big 3 in the AFC. I give them just as good a chance by the time we get to the end of being there, standing in the Super Bowl representing the AFC, as I do the Chiefs and the Ravens. Ryan Clark, change my mind.
I don't want to change your mind. That's first off. I like the way that you're thinking, but I do believe that you're wrong. Let's not rush to judgment on this Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and we can't necessarily expect this defense to turn the ball over as much as it did last year. I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are a cut above, and the Baltimore Ravens are stacked right with them. And when you go to the rest of the AFC, the Steelers will be at the top, but they aren't on the level of those two teams. At some point, this offense is going to be able to have to score with the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs, who do it at an amazing clip and in very explosive ways. We didn't see that from this Pittsburgh Steelers offense against the New York Giants, and obviously not last year with backup quarterbacks. So we have to wait to see how they progress, how Big Ben continues to play, because if we want to put them on the level of those two teams, we need to see more explosiveness. So, Greeny, I love the way that you're thinking. I just want you to hold off a little bit so we can truly see what the Pittsburgh Steelers look like offensively against a real NFL football defense.
Diana, what do you think?
I'm not going to change your mind completely. I'm going to curt it a little bit, or at least curtail it just a little bit. I think what they have in terms of the blueprint of this defense working is spot on, and I agree with you in terms of their force. In fact, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of when the Pittsburgh Steelers made that trade with the Miami Dolphins for Minkah Fitzpatrick. We rarely see the Steelers make a trade for a first-round draft pick, and look how that worked out. He's now become one of the best defenders on that team behind Cam Hayward and Bud Dupree. But this is going to fall on the offense. Juju Smith-Schuster had a down year last year. He needs to prove that he is the number one. We had a little glimpse of it against the New York Giants, but it is still way too early to crown the Steelers defense the best in the AFC, but they certainly can be a runner-up at this point in the season.
I will repeat quickly, McAfee, before I give it to you. Last year, they were 8-3 in games in which they scored 11 or more points. They only allowed 27 points 3 times the whole year last year, and that was with the worst quarterback play probably in the entire NFL. McAfee, change my mind.
Well, Duck Hodges didn't deserve that. But Yinzers are going to love to hear what you're saying this morning on Get Up. And I think you could be right here, but just not now. I think that defense with Cam Hayward, Bud Dupree, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, T.J. Watt, I mean, they are a dominant force. And they made that Giants offensive line, which is notoriously terrible, look even worse. And that defense almost carried them to an offseason like you just, or into a playoff like you just said, with basically no offense. But Ben Roethlisberger looked bad early. He kind of got the jitters off of him a little bit. Juju Smith-Schuster, is this going to be the Juju for this year? Benny Snell looks like he's running a lot harder than James Conner, although James Conner got hurt. So if that offense can get clicking at all, I think you're right, but I don't think now's the time to say that they can keep up with the Baltimore Ravens offense, which is a buzzsaw. Lamar Jackson looks better than he's ever looked. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill on the offense for Kansas City Chiefs look like they haven't slowed down one bit, and this is an offensive league. That's what you're going to have to do. So if Ben Roethlisberger can get back to form, and I've been on the opposite side of a Ben Roethlisberger 50 burger, I understand what that can look like. But with that defense, I think you're 100% right. just not yet. And Yinzers are going to love them some Mike Greenberg this morning.
We'll see. I'm telling you right. Nothing in this conversation changed my mind. We will take a short break, and we'll let you know that First Take is coming up next. The Browns won. Odell caught a touchdown. Is all well in Cleveland this morning? Stephen A. and Max answer that and more. It's First Take, 5 minutes from right now on ESPN. Pat McAfee, here's the question. Which Heisman-winning quarterback won the most games in the National Football League?
Hembo's had a big brain on him for sure. And Peyton Manning did not win the Heisman. I was going to pick him. And then obviously anytime you say Tim Tebow, the number moves. I'm not going to say him. My final answer, since the Bengals played last night, who is Carson Palmer? Give it to me.
He got it right. That is correct.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about, Hembo. Eat it, Hembo. Woo!
I'm stunned. Everyone in this room got it wrong. I guessed Staubach, Vinny Testaverde, and the answer was Carson Palmer. Meanwhile, we had two Heisman-winning quarterbacks last night, Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow. It was Mayfield who got the best of it, but it was his running game that carried his team. Nick Chubb, part of the attack. He had 124 yards, and that was one of his 2 touchdowns. They ran for 215 on the night total. Then here's the best moment of the night for Baker. That's a 43-yard touchdown to Odell Beckham, who had 4 catches, 74 yards, and that score. And the Browns wind up with a 35-30 win that they desperately needed. There's another touchdown pass from Mayfield to Kareem Hunt. So the Browns, again, a win that they desperately needed in the battle of Heisman Trophy QBs. It's time for Ryan Clark to explain his tweet.
Get in the gym, bro. Well, I just got buffalo chicken dip. Baker.
Bruh. Lord. As everyone laughs at the way I read your tweet. I can't even do it with a straight face. We look forward to this all week long. Ryan Clark is a fabulous follow on Twitter, and we follow his tweets, and then he will explain some of them live here. All of these, I'm told, come from last night's game. So here we go. Tweet number 1. Baker is sharp as a deacon from the greater missionary fresh off the evangelistic rock of Mount Pilgrim, Methodist Pentecostal breath of the Seventh Son Baptist Holy of the Holies Church to start. Could be good for his church members. Ryan Clark, explain that tweet.
Hey, look, Greeny, I'm from the South, man, and I grew up in Southern Baptist churches, and you always knew the one deacon that had the 5-piece suit on with the 6 buttons and the alligator shoes was the sharpest dude, and he was going to pass around the collection plate. Well, that's what Baker Mayfield was doing at the start of the game. He was passing around the collection plate. His first five passes went to 5 different people, and it finished off with the bomb to Odell Beckham Jr. Kevin Stefanski did exactly what you needed to do. He came in, he wrote a great sermon, and then Deacon, Baker, Mayfield passed around the collection plate, and they said, we will take the money that jingles, but we rather the type that folds. Please dig into your pockets and give from your heart.
Okay, very good. Next one. OBJ with the doo-doo man New Jack City stutter, and Baker dropped this ball in like Salt Bay. This is what the 6,000 Browns fans came out to see. RC, explain that tweet. What's that?
Greeny, you did not just disrespect the Dunner man like that. It's the Dunner man.
It's the Dunner
because
man.
He stuttered. It's not like duh. I cannot believe you. Listen, the Dunner man was the muscle, right? He was the muscle for New Jack City, for G Money, for Nino Brown. And then you saw Odell Beckham Jr. hit old boy with the stutter, get down the sideline, catch the bomb. But then Baker Mayfield dropping the ball in like Salt Bay, giving you everything that you ever needed. He couldn't drop that ball. There was a drop on 4th and 2 last week. Baker Mayfield placed it in Odell Beckham Jr.'s hand, and we finally got to see what we all signed up for. I was excited for the both of them.
Yes, that's what I thought it was. I was just confirming. All right, finally, here's the best one. Say, y'all, can we redshirt Joe until the Bengals get an O-line? RC, I don't think that one needs a lot of explanation, but what are your thoughts?
Greeny, it needs a lot of explanation. Joe is ours, right? Joe is like our little brother. And he comes off of the greatest college football season that we've ever seen, leading a true pack of Tigers, a true pack of Hunters. And now y'all put him with these baby Cubs in Cincinnati. Those aren't real Tigers. They aren't roaring. Those Tigers are asking for help. And here you have this monster Tiger, Joe Burrow, coming in, #1 overall pick. And you are going to get him killed. So all I'm asking is, can we just take a year or 2 or 3 for the Bengals to figure out how to protect this man before we lose him? He is not only a Louisiana treasure, but a national treasure, and I refuse to let Cincinnati ruin him.
Outstanding work. Ryan Clark explaining his tweets. Meanwhile, as we look ahead to the weekend, let's do a little either or. McAfee, starting with you. Deshaun Watson or the Ravens defense, who you got?
I like the Ravens defense. They bring a lot of pressure, and Deshaun Watson has not done great against the pressure. I think losing Nuke is a big deal. David Johnson had a breakout game once again on Thursday night game, but I like that Ravens defense a lot. They're hungry. They complement Lamar Jackson very, very well in that offense. I like the Ravens over Deshaun Watson.
Next, RC. How about them Cowboys taking on the Falcons? Who should their offense run through, Dak or Zeke?
Able to run the ball, didn't necessarily get the big plays you wanted in the run game, but also caught a touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys. In the second half, when they were relying on Dak Prescott and those wide receivers to pick up first downs, they were inept. They couldn't do it. And then you look at a 4th and 3 in the red zone of the Rams when they should have kicked it, and the CeeDee Lamb gets stopped. Start with Ezekiel Elliott, end with Ezekiel Elliott. Let Dak play off of him.
Okay, I agree with you, but you know what you're going to do here? You were going to get your buddy Dominique Foxworth mad. He disagrees, and he said this on this show yesterday about the Cowboys.
Kansas City plays aggressively. They play like they have an all-star or Pro Bowl level quarterback. And